Welcome to GAC Time. This is Morgan, and this is a General Hospital Daily Review for Tuesday, August 25th. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Now, here's our question. Who should have took some good advice? Let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. If you said Dante, you are correct. Dante should have took some advice. He should have took Liz's advice, right? Liz tried to tell him to get off that knee. He didn't want to listen. He done hobbled up into the hospital and he's limping and stuff like that. And he was just like, yeah, I think I need an x-ray. So Liz was kind of laughing. I should have chuckled a little bit. But she was like, okay. She was like, I guess you should have listened. He's like, you could take it out. If you want to tell me, I told you so, you could do that. But Liz said, no, she ain't going to do that. So she rolled him up into a room. Before she rolled him up into a room, Rick came in. I guess he wanted to talk to Liz real quick, but then he saw those two together and he walked off. And I'm like, Rick, don't mess this up for yourself, right? Just calm down a little bit. So anyway, Liz took Dante into the back room and, she was just like, don't worry about it. We're gonna get somebody to look at your knee and all that kind of good stuff. So Dante was concerned about his knee because he got Rocco to play with that softball league. And he was like, if his knee is messed up, he think Rocco's gonna quit. And it's not gonna make that connection that he's hoping to get between him and Rocco. I can't believe their relationship has taken on such a dramatic turn because Rocco seemed to always have been so close to his dad. So Liz was telling him, try not to worry, and stuff like that. The conversation did get back on Rick a little bit, and Dante was asking her, did he get in contact with you since that whole thing with him having his pants off? Okay. And she's like, no. She said she thought he would have called her and stuff like that. Just that happened. Here comes Rick. Rick calls, asks Liz, is everything good? But Liz asked him, did he want to go to, I guess, Sonny's barbecue and that other situation with the some Met thing or whatever. I forgot what they call the little gallery place that they go to. But Rick was all happy. Of course he wanted to go. Dante did look a little, not he just looked a little bit. So anyway, it seems like her and Rick's relationship is back on course. We'll see what happens at Sonny's barbecue because I'm sure her and Dante gonna be sharing a few words. Maybe Sonny might pick it up over there and see some stuff and hopefully Rick will behave himself. But anyway, we'll see what happens with this. I really feel bad for Anna. Valentin went and got on the elevator with her and she was having a straight panic attack. So Valentin was asking her, is everything okay? And here come that Peter voice, right? So Peter voice is like, don't tell him anything. He don't want to help you. He's not your friend and all this other kind of stuff like that. But Anna did say to him, to Valentin that, she's trying to hold it together and stuff like that. So Valentin was trying to calm her down. Finally, he took her to one of the tables at the Metro Court and he was like, got her a drink. And, she was just like, since that whole situation, she said Carly asked that question. She started thinking about that room with Faison and being held hostage. And she was just talking about the whole situation with the Faison situation. So she did say Valentine was the only one that would understand what she was going through because of this whole thing. And I'm just like, you know what I really would like for Valentine to go alert her family of what's going on because I feel like they should be looped in. I know he's not going to do that because he probably think it's going to violate Anna's privacy and stuff like that. But just so that everybody is on page of what's happening to her, because she doesn't want to. Valentine was saying to her, you should take a leave. You might have been pushing it. You went back to work too soon. And she's like, no, because she's concerned that the WSB is watching her. And if she has any inkling that she's not doing well, that they're going to take her and lock her back up. This is not what Anna needs right now. She needs all her support. Valentine, yes, great. He's there. He can help her. They friends. But she needs Emma, Felicia, everybody. And she needs to talk to Laura went out of town. But I think if everybody collectively got together and said, listen, Anna needs some help, put Dante back there for a little bit, let her get her head right, they would all work together to make sure that she got what she needed. But them keeping this close to the vest, and like she said, what if she has another one of these episodes in front of everybody? She was concerned about just starting to scream at the restaurant. So I think the only way to get through with this is to kind of everybody gets involved and kind of protects Anna, but I don't think that's going to happen just yet because at the other table, Britt was talking Liesel, and they're concerned about the whole thing with Cassius, and everybody thinking Cassius was a bad guy, and Britt was saying that she's working on something to see if she can get his name cleared or at least find out some information or whatever. Lisa was concerned about her, and she was like, "Look, don't be getting involved with the WSB, and so because they're gonna be wanting stuff and things like that." So, I think Lisa was right. I wouldn't ask WSB for anything. But asking Anna also doesn't make any sense either, because what is Anna going to be able to do to help her? But Lisa was getting ready to go over there and confront Anna while she was with Valentin. And Britt was like, no, leave her alone. I don't want to, she didn't want to like make Anna angry, Britt, because she was like, what if some other charges that she had pending, Anna might start going after that. So Lisa left it alone. But I don't know. I think that whole situation with Peter telling her that she gotta get rid of Brit and stuff like that, I really just don't wanna see that. But we gonna see what happens with that. I feel like Anna's gonna have a really breaking point, and I hope she don't wind up just locked up again somewhere. I hope her family can get to her and help her through this what she's gonna need, and she doesn't go through it trying to hurt Brit. Lisa did call Jason over because she was asking Brit about Jason and her relationship, Jason and Britt's relationship. I said, "This is the first time I kinda felt like they was in a relationship," because Jason did come and speak to Lisa and saw Britt there, and he asked Lisa was asking him to come to some barbecue she's gonna throw. But it's funny, I thought about it, I said, "Who gonna come to Lisa's barbecue?" He's like, "Who coming to that?" But anyway, um Jason said he'll be there, and Britt put her hand on his arm and stuff like that. They did look a little couple-ish there. So if they're gonna leave these two together, just let's make it look like they're more in a relationship together. But we'll see what happens with this. I found Carly and Jason's relationship, Carly and Jason's conversation interesting because Jason was trying to tell Carly, give Josh a chance because Carly is truly concerned about Josh, which is understandable. But he was like, she's not Anna, and she may not have the same situation as Anna did, but Carly was 100% right. She was like, Anna is one of the strongest people she know, and she was like, look at her, look what she's going through, look what the WSB. So Jason was trying to say to Carly that Jocelyn thinks she's gonna save the world. She's gonna be able to do things and save people and stuff like that. It's not Jocelyn you have to be concerned with. It's the agency that she's working for. See, that's the part that I don't think Jason is getting, maybe. I don't know, that people are not getting. I think it's just Jocelyn has this thing in her mind. The agency seems to be doing things to people and they take advantage and they wipe them clean and then it's almost like they discard them. So I think I can get behind Jocelyn wanting to be a WSB agent for what she wants to do, but I think that agency is going to grind her up and spit her out. And I think that's what Carly is concerned about. Because Carly even said, she said, how can you say all this? You just came back from that Jakarta prison. Look at you. You look like, something happened. But he was like, he survived. And sometimes I get it. You survived the situation, but is survival enough, right? You don't want to be coming out of these situations. Poor Anna sitting over there, her head is all messed up and stuff like that. I don't know. Carly, I think I agree with Jason on Carly. Carly need to back off and let Jocelyn make this decision her own. She can't keep doing this meddling and interfering and stuff like that. She just has to be there for her when she needs her because she's going to need her. I'm sure that WSB is going to get to her and do some things. And I hope that Jocelyn come out with some kind of sanity and not be, so off like Anna is. But she need to take Jason's advice on that. Like, just back off. Let Jocelyn do what she got to do. But at the end of everything, Carly says she would or whatever. But we'll see what happens with that. Valentin did come back up to Carly, apologize for being so long with Anna. But Carly said she understood. She was like, it's okay. Anna needed you and stuff like that. And then he gave her a kiss. So that was nice to see because I don't know. They haven't been having any kissing or no sexy time for a long time. I'm going to have to say something to these writers. Anyway, we'll see what happens to this. This Hudson thing is so sketchy, right? So Jocelyn came up to tell Hudson she gonna take the job. Then he gonna get not upset, but he was kind of pushing back on her, like, why do you want the job? You said you didn't want it. I'm like, what's his problem? The woman said she was gonna take the job, and you've been pushing her to take the job, but now you're talking about why you want the job. That don't make sense. Right? So anyway, Jocelyn had her whole story up, and she was like, I'm gonna do this and that. And no, I'm not going to just people I know they dependent on me and stuff like that. I'm not going to just be loosey goosey with it. I know people jobs and stuff are on the line, so I'm gonna take care of my father's company. So then Hudson gonna push back talking about you just trying to get back at your father or something like that. I'm like, Jocelyn and her father had a good relationship. So no, she's not just pushing back at her dad. She's actually going to do what she need to do. I guess while she's doing this whole WSB thing, right? Anyway, but anyway, he left it alone after a while. But Jocelyn did say to him, if you don't like it, you can quit, right? So he was like, no, 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 he ain't gonna quit. He just wanted to know why she was taking it. At the end of everything, he gets on the phone and he starts talking to somebody. He's like, yeah, she took it. He was like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to, see. I guess they don't want her to take the position. That was confusing to me because I was like, if you didn't want her to take the position, why did you keep pushing her to take it? When she first said no, you should have said, all right, well, then sign this thing and let me get up on out of here. But he pushed for her to take, I don't know. I'm confused now. I don't know what's going on here. Obviously, he's working for somebody else too. And that's why I was saying that whole thing about that mystery person. Guys, if you haven't seen my feature video that I did about Hudson, I'll attach it to the end of this video because I was saying maybe he's working for somebody else, right? Because this whole thing is strange and weird, but I don't understand why he pushed her to take it if he didn't want her to take it. We'll see what happens with this. It's funny. I was thinking about Lucas and Joe in this apartment together. I said, I hope we don't have what is that thing that show that used to come on a long time ago, the Odd Couple. I hope Joe is a clean person. I was like, remember Oscar Madison and I forgot what the other guy's name. I was like, I hope we don't have a situation like that. But anyway, Joe got all his furniture up there. He got a fully furnished apartment, right? So Lucas kind of lucked out a little bit because he ain't got about no furniture, right? He said he had this chair. I said, "Oh my god, a chair and a blow up mattress." I was laughing. So he was happy that Joe was able to move in because the he got the whole setup. So Lulu came over to bring Lucas a little plant to say, happy housewarming or whatever. And she started asking him about the situation and they told her what was going on. So she was asking if Lucas was actually going to, I mean, not Lucas, if Joe was going to actually stay being, at the apartment. So they said they were trying to figure that out now. But it looks like this is gonna work out, right? Lucas looked like he happy that Joe was there. He said they'll figure out the situation, as it goes along. But what was really funny was Joe gonna ask them, so while we figuring this out, do I have to pay rent? And Lucas was like, yes, rent free up in here. So anyway, it seems like they're gonna try to make this work. I think it'd be good because Lucas did say a while back that he didn't want to live by himself. He wanted to get a new apartment and stuff like that, but he thought it was gonna be weird living by himself. So maybe the roommate situation will be a good thing, but I'm sure they're gonna have their little obstacles because Joe looked like he looked really stern about certain things. So we'll see how this works out. Rick was talking to Lulu, voicing his concerns to the umpteenth time about, the whole thing with Liz and stuff like that. And he told Liz that he was thinking about asking Liz to marry him. But but Lulu was like telling him, you moving a little fast, like, same thing Sonny told him. But she was like, are you doing this because you're afraid you're gonna lose her? And are you making these decisions based on that? But Rick is really concerned because he's like, he thinks he's going to start doing stupid stuff and then lose Liz altogether. So Lulu was kind of telling him, when is the best time that you guys just have fun? So he was like, when he's not really thinking about it, when they just doing random stuff. And Lulu encouraged him to, do that. She was like, don't do much, just keep it simple. And I'm glad he spoke to Lulu. I think if he listens to Lulu, he'll be able to save his relationship with Liz because if he does Rick stuff, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Liz gonna run for the door and she gonna run into Dante's arms because he gonna just mess up the whole thing. But he did call Liz, and Liz was asking him to come to the barbecue and asked him to come to the little gallery thing and stuff like that. And he was like, he got 2 dates. He was so excited. He told Lulu that he was like, he got 2 dates. It's like that. So he was happy, right? We'll see. I think after that barbecue, I think Rick gonna put it in overdrive. I think he gonna go and start doing nonsense stuff, and then he gonna wind up losing Liz because it seemed like Liz really wants to be with him. But if he starts doing shenanigan stuff or just start moving too fast, I think she gonna run, right? But I was looking at Lulu and Rick together. They don't look too bad right there, and Lulu needs something to do. So maybe this might be the start of something. But we'll see what happens with this. Guys, what was your favorite part about this episode? Let me know down in the comment section. We love thumbs up, smiley faces, and encouraging words. I really do hope they can get Anna some help. I do really do feel bad for her. She just needs a little bit more support. over there and just maybe a little bit more therapy. I think she got out of that clinic a little too fast. But other than that, guys, we love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button because we really need the help and we love to do these videos. And guys, also don't forget to hit that bell notification and then like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And thank you for joining us again at GHT Time. Till next time, bye.